see on the screen, so ImageGrafix is not only giving you a solution or a software, it is not only selling it, but the journey will be with you. So, of course, this has been stressed upon by each and every one of you that we need, obviously we need asset management. So, I will not stress more. However, the challenges faced in today's world is, as discussed in panel discussion, aging assets, and wherever the word chemical comes, obviously the corrosion will start. So your asset is going to corrode and going to degrade for sure. That is a guarantee that assets will be degraded. Only thing is how we will prolong it, number one, protect it. Again, here two P's are coming, so prolong the failure, rather try to prevent the failure, and if failure is going to occur, we should know before it occurs so that the cost is less of the downtime. In most of the companies, especially chemical companies, the data which resides is in particular packets or siloed data is there. So there has to be a uniform platform or a portal or a system where the entire data is gathered and managed. And of course, reactive maintenance versus predictive, we talked about it. There is a challenge of workforce shortage. Here, shortage in the sense of skill level, training level, as well as in older companies, many of the people are going to retire, for example, and the knowledge they possess. If it is not a system-oriented company, then the knowledge will also retire, which is very unfortunate, but it happens and we cannot deny it. But our system, say HxGN, EAM or APM, should be, and it is, intelligent enough to capture the data and utilize it for the future maintenance. Asset lifecycle optimization, compliance, we talked about it, and one of the key challenges, again, budget constraints. So how much we should invest to manage and maintain the asset, rather the timing of it. How much or how many years more I will keep on investing in maintenance, and somewhere I should stop, and it will be cheaper for me to buy a new asset than keep on maintaining the old asset. So that decision making will happen if you have a good asset management solution or software. Sustainability we discussed, and we got a fantastic definition from all the three panelists. So sustainability, and to maintain the sustainability itself is a challenge. So these figures are taken from, of course, internet and websites. And this is unplanned downtime cost in crores almost per year, hour or week, month. So it is a costly affair to have your assets down. So this particular slide will explain what I am talking about. Venkatesh told about digital twins. So it is about aging infrastructure. If we have the assets digitally twinned, then we can use them to model their failure, predict their failure, and act before it happens. Centralized asset management platform, or rather centralized data platform, which is required to remove the siloed packets. Predictive maintenance, it will come if we have a good sensorization of your assets. We will get the details of the data, say temperature data or say vibration data, and keep on comparing with the asset twin, and wherever the deviation is, we can act on it before it fails. So in APM especially, you can decide your own threshold as well. That means when I should take action, you can also decide, as well as HxGN APM also suggests you what should be the threshold. So both are there. In particular companies, typical scenario is, okay, software is giving me some advisory, but we work in a peculiar way. So we want to be more safe or safer. So you can change the threshold so that you get the alerts earlier than what HxGN is also saying. So it can be customized as per your requirement. AI powered, we saw it is artificial intelligence powered solution it is. And detection and root cause analysis. Again, RCA is an inbuilt feature into EAM and APM. Modular structure, and you can say that IoT is one aspect where we talk about the data coming from the field. So we have to implement the sensors, integrate with EAM, and get the data from the field. So that is what the IoT related aspect, and there is a session on IoT when we move ahead. So this is in a nutshell. We are going from reactive to future-ready maintenance. So it is condition-based maintenance or risk-based maintenance or predictive analysis. So preventive, the age of preventive is also gone now. We are already into predictive features. This particular picture tells about your existing systems. If at all you have ERP, you have SCADA or historian, get the data, put into the system, and take informed decisions to protect your assets. So you can see here it is about operations management, because the data will generate from the operations, then the maintenance. And I talked about corrosion. You can see here IMS. So it is integrity management system. So when corrosion comes, it impacts the integrity of the asset. So there are systems or softwares which talks about what is the remnant life, or what is the corrosion rate. You get the data from those systems, put into the twin, and act on it, so that the corrosion related problems are also solved or at least minimized. Somebody talked about ERP integration. We talked about it. SAP, if you have, I can interact with that, get the data, including intelligence in procurement, for example. So when your critical asset is going to fail, if you be ready with the spare parts it is going to need, then the intelligence comes and the system helps you in even procurement intelligence. Venkatesh talked about this, so I am going to skip this, but I will dwell upon this. It is about cost optimization, throughput, so maximizing the life of your production machines and increasing the production as well, at least maintaining the continuous flow of products, sustainability and productivity. So without any downtime, if you are keeping your assets up almost always, then it is obviously going to increase your profitability as well. This is about APM and EAM combination. So we talked about it, but I am going to re-stress. It is about planning, risk management, devise the action plan, and act on it when the risk occurs. So this is the value addition it gives, the combination of EAM and APM. This dashboard is quite informative data. It is there. So it talks about the protection percentage and what is the health of your asset, what sort of failures it might occur, and what you should do in a single dashboard. When ImageGrafix implements any system, for that matter EAM or APM, this is our cycle. So we first do the scoping, and continuous interaction with customer only will give us the data. So we will focus on your pain areas or customers' pain areas. We design the solution, even though it is a standard product, the configuration should be done as per your requirement or customer's requirement, and then deploying it. There will be a training session for each and every user, or at least the key users who can train their subordinates or their team members later on. And then continuous support. So even post go live, we provide support for any system we implement. And I think that is very important, as we say that it takes time to get accustomed to any new system. So hand-holding is one of the important aspects what we do. I just wanted to touch upon these aspects as I felt that it is important to restress some of the points. If you have any questions till now for the morning session or even today's this session, you can ask me. Any questions? Especially about combination of EAM, APM. Okay. Inherent lead time, what supplier is going to incur, I mean that we cannot reduce. However, we can intimate them when we are going to need a part, for example a spare part, that we will take that lead time pressure on our head and intimate them early. That is the only way we can do, based on the trend as well as the standard procedures of maintenance. That is the only way we can do that. If it is not in our control, the supplier side is a third party. So, but we can be proactive and intimate them early. I think that is the best way we can do.
Nowadays, engineers are spending much more time on PR follow-ups, PR creation, and
sorry, no, I did not hear.
Nowadays, engineers are spending more time on PR's portfolio, like PR follow-ups and everything. So, is there any system is available with single click and all PR? कहाँ पे कौन सा stage में है मुझे बोल देगा कि इतना PR का इतना, and that's at the approval stage, that's an RFQ stage. Is there any system?
Yeah, absolutely. It is there. In a single click, it is there. There are two ways to it. One is getting the report. Of course, we are talking about paperless environment. So, getting the report in a soft copy and acting on it, number one. So, there are more than, I believe, 300 standard reports, out of which at least 20 to 25 reports will be there only on procurement, or rather more than that. Only on purchase requisition you are saying what is the status of, that's what you are asking. So it is a standard cycle. So purchase requisition can be for part as well as services again. And there is a RFQ quotation stage as well as awarding the PO and then getting the material. So entire history or rather the transaction of request till receipt. There is a complete capture at every stage it is there. Because EAM, especially EAM, works on statuses. For example, PR's first status is say released or initiated. Example. Then when you create a PO or get the material, then received. So based on each status, you can very easily, rather while configuring we do that, but even if we train you, our customer, they can also themselves create an inbox or create a to-do list very easily into HxGN. So to answer your question, yes, the entire cycle is captured and we will know on a single click at which stage or status each requisition is, or maybe the reverse way also, how many requisitions are there in awaiting approval stage. I mean, that is more important, right? The decision making is on that. What is the pending activity? So we can very well do that. There are multiple ways. I will show you in my next next slide. So that is very much possible. Yeah.
Will it help in preparing the budget planning also?
Like at the end of the year, we all together do this exercise, and there are some chances that it is not captured basis to the breakdown preventive maintenance. So how it can correlated to make it the life easy in budget planning as well as the effective and quality budget.
There is a standard functionality of project as well as budget, and we can plan the budget as we do on paper. So you can directly do similar activities paperless in EAM. Number one. Number two, even there are triggers or alerts. If suppose my procurement is eating away my budget, I should get a trigger. I mean, that is more important, right? I mean, if you have surpassed say 50% of the budget right now, then I should get a trigger. So I will get an email or inbox or to-do list or KPI or alert at the particular threshold which you want. It is very much possible. It is the standard activity in EAM.
Same as the inventory or spare management can be possible with
Absolutely, there is a module of inventory management. So there you can create stores or warehouses, keep your mental and I have to again stress that these are not the raw material type of stores. It is maintenance spares, because the tone of the software is more towards asset management and asset maintenance. So all the maintenance spares are kept in those stores. Maybe you can create some bins also. Then there can be repairable spares as well. If those cannot be called as assets, those are spares, but you can repair it. So these kind of activities are also done. There is a ABC analysis, a typical ERP, how it functions. All the features are there. For example, EOQ, economic order quantity, ROL, reorder level, ABC analysis, min-max, all the activities can be done on inventory model. Yes. Any questions?
So how do you ensure the safety of the data? Because the data itself may be very confidential in nature.
Absolutely. So there are two aspects of it. One is on-premise implementation or installation of EAM, and another is SaaS or on cloud. So it is a proven platform which Hexagon team can also confirm. It is a proven platform that all type of security measures are taken. The data cannot be transferred outside. If it is a on-prem, then there is no question. Even if on a SaaS, multi-tenant or single tenant, all these options are available. The data security is ensured and certified also. So while purchasing, it is made very clear to the customer that these are the standards we are following and your data is safe.
The reason why I asked this question because the so very secure platform like Google itself, data is leaking from there also. So it has an happen.
Sorry? No. Repeat.
The so-called very secure platform like Google itself, the data has been leaking from there also. They are also using very high secure platforms. So I just wanted to understand how different we are from there.
I think the architecture itself is so restrictive, I can say. I will give one example. If I am suppose I want to steal some data by logging into system, I know that it is an open system or there is a URL which is there. I will just click and go in, but it will not allow me to enter if I don't know the user ID password as well as the expiry of user ID and expiry of password as well. So GUI level, it is very much restrictive in nature, rather it is only user oriented. So if you have the user ID password, then only you will get in. And the database itself, if it is on-prem, then there is a server technology where you keep your DB application, there are separate servers, and you will ensure that.
Sir, as per the new ISO policy regarding ISO 62443, any third party, any third component other than IT and OT we will incorporate in our system. Then your system is that compiled.
It is compliant to the ISO. All the information technology related clauses, it is compliant to that. And you can see that in the product literature also. Any questions? We will move to next week's session. Do they really speak? I think yes, and fantastic response from all of you. Quite interactive sessions, and the prospects, the customers, the attendees of this session. We all are very inquisitive because something, if it is shown, then we want to ensure that it helps us because we are going to put investment on that, right? So customer really speak. What I want to say is typically Indian customers, they are quite powerful. Number one, it is a customer driven market. It is not product driven. Whatever customer wants, and this HxGN EAM being so flexible, we'll give one example. The same EAM is implemented in Godrej, and I am ex-Godrej. So I was in Godrej Infotech Limited. So Godrej was our biggest customer because of the internal team. But there are 35 group companies which have come or which are still using HxGN EAM for all their maintenance as well as contracting type of or rental business as well. For example, GMH, that is a material handling division, they manufacture forklift and they rent out or sell it. So, for example, Tata Motors or Mahindra, they give their forklift on rent. The entire rental business is managed using this HxGN EAM and integration with ERP-LM. Same EAM is implemented on Hayat. Hayat Goa is using HxGN EAM for managing their facilities. Same EAM is implemented in Biocon, which is a pharma and chemical, rather it is a pharma company. So they are using the same EAM. So you can imagine all three businesses are entirely different. Product is same, but it is configured to such a level that you can tweak it anytime. So that is the beauty of the flexibility of HxGN EAM and the configuration. So I was talking about Indian customer and maybe you all are also so inquisitive because of either some past experience, number one. Number two, need to know. And number three, maybe cost related questions, right? So HxGN EAM will try to satisfy each and every need of the customers. So I am now waiting for a customer who is going to come, and he has some need. So let us see how I can satisfy his questions or his needs. So let us wait for 30 seconds to greet the customer. Give me 30 seconds. Yes, here the customer has arrived.
Hold on, so we let me join. So
Mic there, customer.
here we go.
I'm representing, see, because many of you might be holding your questions in your mind. So the intention today is to bring out your mind up, and I'll be the medium here. Thank you.
We're talking about this slide.
Yes, about that running slide. Because I mean, I have many assets in my facility, and I would like to map all of them, maintain all of them, and see their entire life cycle throughput. Know which equipment has been how much productive, how much life is left of the critical equipment. So these are some of things which I would like to understand. And also, if I'm running a legacy system, be it any plant maintenance system, and I have some legacy ERPs or maybe the latest ERPs migration which is happening. So how would you help me to do that? To migrate from a legacy system to a modern system, integrating across ERP platforms, so that I do not operate in silos.
Okay. So your requirements should first be very clear to you. If those requirements are not clear, I will help you to get it clarified by asking you some questions, and then we both will arrive at the common scope statement and the scope detail. I think that should be the first step of freezing the requirements. So that's how I will start.
Sure.
You were having some other questions on this slide, that's why I've given. You were asking about some symbols, right?
Yes, I can see that a running customer is running.
Well,
yes, a crawl, run, and something.
It is, those symbols are nothing but you always crawl before walk and walk before run. So it is about implementation, which ImageGrafix certainly follows. That don't expect moon and sun at the first day after go live. So you plan it in such a way that it should be a gradual process, and maybe some small POCs, or take one section or one functionality and then go for big bang. So that is, gradual approach is always successful, which is proven, especially for HxGN EAM or any EAM implementation, that I can say. So if at all you have any existing EAM or any system, if you want to upgrade, we can do that because the technical upgrade is simple. I mean, suppose you have older version, then technically it can be upgraded if it is on-prem or anything. And the user groups or the roles are important. So if there are any addition in your requirement, we map it out and we add those features so that you can get use of the latest functionality of HxGN EAM. So that is how I will answer your question. I think you were not there when this slide was getting displayed, right?
Actually, I was busy making some reports.
What is that?
I have to send. Many times we are required to send daily reports, weekly and monthly reports. And a lot of our time goes into all those reports, publishing it, and then circulating across the users. So it takes a lot of time.
Obviously, is this statement somewhat familiar to you, that you also are busy in maybe not necessarily printing out the report, as Baldar sir has said, paperless is okay, but still, if the report is to be extracted and then emailed to somebody, that will also take some time. I mean, even though it is a paperless thing, right? So soft copy also, it has to be distributed to particular persons or decision makers. So what I wanted to show here is, there are 275 reports which are standard reports. There is an email functionality. At particular triggers, an email can be sent to the pre-designated people or the fixed people, or even the variables. For example, a person who is creating a work order, whoever that person may be, he should get an intimation when that work order is going to be complete or it is completed. So that varies. So every time different people are going to raise the work order, right? So it is not only fixed email IDs, whoever is creating that record, he can get the email notification, and the best part is that email can be auto attached with the report. That means a custom report if we develop, then we can design in such a way that it gets along with that email. So these two features will save your time when you are creating or even printing the report and all that. Don't do that. Rather, if you are having this kind of system, then you don't have to do that. Rather. So this particular thing, there is a work order. There are two liners at the end of this slide, at the bottom end. So this kind of emails you can get automatically. You don't have to create a report every time. It can be auto attached. And the next part is, this is a dashboard, by the way. This is a landing page of HxGN EAM taken from the live environment. So left hand side is in boxes or to-do list. Okay, and these are not only figures. If you double click there, it will open only those items which are, for example, 12. So inquiries created, say 12. In that case, or equipments created, whatever it may be. So if you double click on that 12, it will open only those 12 items which are mentioned here. Right hand side charts, you can see maybe lease analysis or work order analysis. You can create any type of chart here. And then there are KPIs. PM compliance is one of the very important KPI for performance of your department, how they are performing. So these kind of KPIs can be made according to your requirement. So it is not standard. It is up to you how you want to measure the performance or key performance indicators as it implies. So all can be configured in HxGN EAM, and it is user group level or user level. A technician will see a different screen and the manager will see a different screen as per the requirements.
So we see these are all okay, and I'm really impressed by all these functionalities, all the value brings. But at the end of the day, I have to convince our bosses, our senior management.
Okay. Okay.
So how do we go about it? I'm convinced of this. They will give me benefit. Now how to convince my higher ups?
Again, you were not there, or again you were busy in reporting, I believe. So this slide you should never forget. I mean, this gives a good picture to your senior management what a company is going to get. And we discussed about this. However, these are important aspects. This what you will get by implementing EAM. Starting from a single platform to predictive maintenance to asset performance management to sustainability. If a single solution or a combination of solution is going to give you this, I think your boss should be happy. That's what I think.
I'm sure he'll be convinced.
Sure. So it is a very quick interactive session, and that's it from my side. If you have any questions, you can ask. Rather, I want to make it more interactive.
So suppose we have implemented now, EAM, and later on we want to add few more KPIs or this graph.
You can do it.
So will it be further we need to discuss with HxGN or the ImageGrafix?
So the thing is, when we implement HxGN EAM, there is a 4-day, 5-day type of training sessions will be there. From your side or from customer side, we usually tell to nominate key users or train the trainer sort of a concept. Suppose there are 5,000, 10,000 users, it is not practical to train everyone 100% sure. I mean, nobody is going to train 5,000 and 6,000 people. However, maybe 15 to 20 core users who will take the ownership of the processes they are representing. If they are trained, they will in turn train their own subordinates or colleagues. In that, we give, suppose there is a super user or an admin from your side, so he will be shown how to create API inbox. If at all they stuck up somewhere, then again the support contract will be there where you can approach or you can raise a ticket and we will implement or we will help you, we will guide you on that. But for these kind of small, because it is not a huge task, there is a SQL query inside, which if your people are aware about it, then you yourself can very well do it. And it is quite user friendly, so you don't have to worry on that front. Asset management standard, which is ISO 5500X. I have specifically mentioned 5500X because it is 55, starts from 55,000, then it is 55,001, 55,002, 12 and 13. These standards are about best practices of managing your assets in a way. Okay, so these standards are dedicated for that. I can see that there are, you can see that there are 6 aspects to it. Number 1 is strategic alignment, holistic approach. So holistic, we can say only maintenance department is not supposed to be the responsible for the asset, right? I mean, production people are using the asset, maintenance are going to repair it, but in a way, all people in the organization which are part of the value chain, all are responsible for it. And I can see some smiling faces because in the companies, always the maintenance team is held responsible for anything bad happening to any asset. According to me, all are responsible equally because in a way they are attached to it. So that is the holistic approach, you can say. Then the risk management, we talked about it. So managing the risk starts with identifying the risk, number 1. Number 2, what should be the mitigation plan? And are we ready to take action if the risk occurs? Then performance monitoring, it will require a connection or integration with the field sensors again or IoT, so that we get the readings from the field and we can compare it to determine whether our asset is performing as per the expectation or it is lagging behind. Stakeholder engagement and continuous improvement. Finally, everything boils down to continuous improvement only, because none of the asset management strategy is going to be carved on stone, so it has to keep on evolving rather. So 5500X, these standards are just a framework. It won't tell us how to manage a pump or how to manage a compressor. It is just a guiding principle of how we should approach the maintenance as well as the complete asset management strategy, you can say. This particular pyramid, rather it is about the 5 systems. One is management. Unless you have a backing from your top management, the asset management strategy is not going to work. It should come from top to bottom, not bottom to top. It has to come from the superior most in the hierarchy, and it should boil down to the bottom, so that each and every workman or work person also knows about what are the strategies. So the transparency should be there from top to bottom. And then technical, you can say, systems. So what we saw, EAM or APM, it is not entirely the asset management. It is just a part of it. A software is not at all the complete asset management strategy. It is just an execution or the fact end of it rather. The real story begins from the top again, and this is just a tool. EAM is just a tool to achieve the asset management objectives. I can say that. Even APM also. So not giving focus on other aspect like management system or information system is going to be a catastrophe, because only solution or EAM implementation is not going to sort out your problems. I will again repeat, only EAM implementation is not going to sort out your asset problems. You have to focus on the other areas as well, including, you can see on the screen, information system, decision making. So, for example, what you will do if you get an alert that this particular asset is going to fail in next 7 days. If you don't act, EM is not going to go there and automatically repair your asset, right? So there has to be a dedication and commitment right from the topmost boss to the technician who is going to repair the machine. So EM will just help you get the data so that you take the decision and act on it. So it is not going to be completely unmanned or something. If a technician is going to go there, he will have to go there. EM will not go there, rather. So these pillars are important. So, yeah.
Samir, I have a question. How is ISO 5500X correlated to enterprise asset management? If you can explain.
Yeah, as I mentioned, EM is not ISO 55000 for sure. But are there any features which are covered in EM, which are related to ISO 55000? I have a slide for that. Asset register. So as you can see, HxGN EM tracks each and every asset activity, right from the list of assets or the parameters of asset. You enter as much information as possible inside EM, so that the garbage in, garbage out should not happen. So the quality of details you put in will give you, the more the details you put, the better the reports you get out of EM. And I think Ballard sir will agree with that, because the data they have put in, they are happy with the reporting because they have put extensive effort in putting the data inside. And unless you have meaningful data go inside, then only you will get the meaningful report, otherwise no. Asset policy and strategy, these are the standard features which are related to ISO 55000, and this can directly be configured in HxGN EM. So these features are already available. Maintenance planning, for example, is a feature which is quite default in nature in HxGN EM, which talks about ISO 55000. Performance monitoring, we talked about it. If you integrate with IoT or sensors, you get the actual readings, you compare it and decide whether your asset is performing good or bad. And these kind of features are directly related to ISO 55000 chain, as well as those are available in HxGN EM. I hope I have answered your question. Okay. With this. So these are some of the slides of energy management, how we can track it, then asset performance, we discussed about this. And there is a asset investment planning, which is a feature, advanced feature in HxGN EM, which will prompt us about asset procurement planning, or when to stop maintaining and when to go for new asset or replacement, or so this kind of help is also there. I will skip this, and again the famous quote by Peter Drucker. So culture eats strategy for breakfast. So whatever you do, whichever EM systems and sophisticated sensors you put in, unless the organization culture is not conducive for upkeep of your assets, we are not going to be successful. So organization culture is also an important part which plays for asset management. I would like to call upon our practice head of IoT, Mr. Gopal, and he is going to take you to IoT related part of it.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gopal Sharma, and I have the IoT and analytics practice in ImageGrafix. I have been in the industry for the last 3 decades, working on mostly designing solutions, implementing solutions related to the manufacturing IT and plant automation and control. And I've been into the IoT since it started, and I will say the automation since my initial phase of career. So I hope all the session has been quite insightful for you guys since the morning, right? You had gone through like what Samir told about ISO 55,000, right? And Venkat ran you through the different aspect and feature of asset management and APM, how it helped, right? And then what I will say is the key thing in this is data, right? And data is driving the latest trend that is happening in the asset management and APM space. Earlier we used to have a paper-based or the reactive kind of a maintenance, which has moved at a later stage when we started comparing the signal, monitoring the signal to a condition-based monitoring, and then now with the compute power and what I will say edge-based computing, we are moving into the predictive aspect of the maintenance, right? And what I will say the trend we see in the industry is, as Venkat also showed you, like HxGN, EAM and APM products are also addressing some of these trends. Like people are talking about, or these solutions are going to leverage the data to deliver you data-driven insight, right? And there is a very big use of digital twin that is coming up in the industry, right? People want to use digital twin not only to check how the assets are performing, but also to test various scenarios in the field and do what if scenarios, what I will say in the different use cases, how they can use this digital twin to improve the asset performance as well as the process performance. The other aspect of a digital twin is in the maintenance, when we talk about the technologies that are coming, is how we can enable our maintenance staff in doing their day-to-day activities, which could be maintaining a particular asset or collaborating with some expert, like how to resolve some issue. And the big change that is coming is because of the connectivity now, which is coming into the plant floor. People are opening their plant floor, people are talking about connecting the sensor using wireless data. Some places people are talking about using the plant data also to the cloud platform, where it can be used for a big data analytics, where we are not only comparing the asset performance with respect to the asset different parameter, but also with respect to the process as well as the material. So this is how we do see this whole integrated thing play. One key thing in this is the IoT technology that are enabling these trends. And if you look and I will say you will agree on this one that IoT is playing a big role in what I will say the unifying all these technology, different products, be it EAM, be it your APM or your asset integrity products, as well as integrating it with the other, what I will say, the systems, like for example, SCADA systems are there, right? And a lot of time we do see challenges where our older systems, like most of the systems are focusing only onto the control system, are only focusing onto the process aspect. They don't have the asset focus, right? So that's where the IoT is coming, which is filling those gaps, where we are talking about if it's a motor which is pumping something, the typical automation system are just monitoring on-off status as well as the process parameter, but it doesn't give any view of how that motor is behaving in the field. Is there any vibration? Is there any kind of a change in the temperature of a bearing? All those kind of things. So IoT is enabling all these things. So this is how the IoT enable the whole of this generally. Like one side we do have an automation system, we do have a diverse automation system. Right, on the other side we have other application which could be a asset management legacy system, right, which exposes data. I think somebody asked in the morning that can EAM take some data, export and import that one. So the IoT platform are enabling those connectivity challenges also. Right, one side you leveraging the IoT platform, one can connect the traditional automation system. On the other side, there are now the sensors are also becoming IoT ready, where you just put a sensor and it will start giving you the data on a typical IoT protocol, and it can expose that data to the IoT platform. Right? Now, this helps us acquire the data from a diverse silo system, right, and bring this particular data into one centralized IoT platform, where one can do different scenario, or what I will say data processing, store this particular data, process data or equipment data into a database, build a history if you don't have a past history, and then use those history to build the data-driven insights. So one side, these platform, I will not say all the platform are having analytics capability, but the platform that we work with is having an analytical layer also on the top of this, where one can build different AI ML based model, and those can be used and executed on the IoT platform, and the insight derived from those models can be fed into EAM system or APM system. So for example, if I talk about, in the morning somebody was talking that, okay, what if a sensor fails, how do I know? The IoT system can enable that. It will continuously monitor a particular sensor signal. Right, it will keep monitoring that one, and if there is any drift, right, it will also know that the value of that particular signal is drifting from its typical value, and it will immediately give you the alert which can be sent to a APM system or EAM system that there is a drift in the particular parameter. It could be instrument drift, it could be a sensor issue, or it could be what I will say the process issue which is impacting that particular parameter. Similarly, one can do what I will say data accuracy check also. A lot of time we do see the sensor data drift over a period, and we can build a soft sensor which can be used if in case a sensor is giving you a wrong value, the same soft sensor can be used in some of the process or equipment related analysis without taking it down. And once the particular process and operation has been completed, you can take that machine down and correct that particular sensors. So this is how the whole of what I will say the APM is enabled through IoT. When we work, let's say with an APM system, what as Venkat also mentioned, HxGN APM is having an asset library. For example, if you have a pump, we try to leverage that asset library. It gives me like what are the critical parameters for that asset, what is the input that this asset will require, what is the output this particular one need to monitor. The same data is captured through using the IoT connectivity or edge devices, and then analyzed for any deviation and sent the correct and right value is sent to the what I will say APM or EAM system, where all the data is right, and that's why you are, what Samir mentioned, that if the data is right, you get the right picture. So it's the same thing over here. And we will, I think this particular small snippet you might have seen in the morning, this is what we try to leverage, which help us to improve or fast track the complete implementation, where we are talking about leveraging the existing asset models or asset library, using the failure model, which can be which can consume the IoT data and give you insight whether a particular asset is going to fail and what is going to be the reason for that. So one side, APM also has a dashboard which gives you a various what I will say reports or dashboard. The IoT platform also comes with similar kind of a thing, same kind of a feature where based upon the alert, one can give the messages or on a WhatsApp or an email, the same can be leveraged based upon what is the strategy we have to implement this combined solution. So these are some of the things what I mentioned is, for example, if we are talking about any asset, right, we are talking about asset performance. First thing is, I need to build a benchmark. What is the benchmark performance of that asset? Now, similarly, if there is a sensor, I need to build up some benchmark index for a sensor value. So that's the same thing we try to do in IoT, where we leverage the past historical data and then build this benchmark for this, and the real-time value are compared against that benchmark, and you get to know what is the deviation happening and why that is happening, and that can come from an EPM system, which will give you the reason for those deviations. Similarly, as I mentioned, the instrument drift, that is also one thing one can implement in the IoT platform. A lot of places we do see this is a big challenge where people are getting some value from the instrument, but the same value is going there, but they are not able to take care of what is the drift that is happening and what impact it is causing, right? So similarly, with a complete process as well as the asset performance and combination of multiple assets, you can define your complete plant or what I'll say the one complete assembly or process line. What is the performance? What are the various parameters that you need to compare, and then you can take a decision on the performance of that particular asset. So this is one small example. I just tried to take over here where I saw like there were some couple of questions like how we do or how we do the predictive maintenance, right? How do we identify early failure or earlier event which indicate to some issue? For example, this is one example. This is a pump which could be a pump, it could be a gear motor, or it could be any other asset. We will be getting what are the various input or output parameter based upon the asset model which is coming from a EPM. The same data would be captured from the automation system, brought into the IoT platform. Now, for example, if you look, it is not just the bearing thing what we are talking about for a performance of a pump. It is also the outflow, what is the pressure it is building in the process. That's also the performance contribution to the performance of a pump. So we take care of all those things. Based upon those parameters, we define a health index of a particular asset. So that asset health index could be built based upon the various, what I will say, the contributing factor which are going into an asset normal operation, right? And then based upon the monitoring of the various parameters, we define like how it is performing. For example, pump is working perfectly, it is sucking the water and giving the water or maybe at a particular pressure. What if there is a vibration? Will it immediately in the beginning, will it impact any of these parameters? It may not. But if we are having these vibration sensor, which could be a wireless or other sensor, I can get with a drift analysis of a particular signal that there is a, what I will say, some kind of a change in the vibration of one particular sensor, which is maybe referring to some bearing in the motor, or it may be something else also. So now, the second question is come, is it an indicator of some issue with the bearing, or is it something else? Is it related to the process? It could be like if it is not water or some other liquid you are processing, it may be something other issue also. So we take a holistic view of all the parameters, see why this particular anomaly is coming, identify and mark it. What is the reason? If it is a bearing issue, then it will keep coming. I will start getting this thing and I will see. I will do the analysis of that particular signature of that particular signal that, okay, maybe 2 hours earlier or 1 day earlier, the signature of that particular signal was like this. And when I am looking right now, it has changed to this kind of a format. That means there is some changes. Right now, it is only the early beginning of an issue, right? And we are identifying it through the analysis of this bearing signal or vibration signal that is coming through the IoT platform. Similarly, what we can do is, a lot of time we talk about this is the early event detection. We also talk about like, I am running a process, I cannot take my asset down. So the important thing is whether I can tell this particular asset is starting to have some issue, what would be the remaining useful life of this thing? Is it something you look or you see useful or anybody? Okay, so this also is one of the features you can do, which is there also in APM, where you can give the data based upon the degradation of a particular asset parameter or combination of asset parameter. You can say that this is the point where there is some issue or it is having some issue, maybe seal, pump seal, or maybe a bearing or some other which is impacting the complete overall process, but based upon the calculation of degradation model, it will tell that, okay, I can still run it for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, right? And based upon that, I can take a decision. So these are some of the way we use, like for example, I mentioned early anomaly detection, then vibration is also there. It could be a time series analysis or it could be a, what I will say, the frequency domain analysis. Then root cause or signature analysis, which we can leverage the APM where you have a root cause model. Then real-time alert based upon the deviation in your signal or the set of the signal. And then the decision support, right, like what one need to do. So based upon your process, if there is a standard process or standard system which is available in APM system, it can leverage same. Otherwise, one can build those business rules that what decision should be given to an operator when a particular scenario or a set of a scenario happens. So this is one of the studies that was done by Aberdeen a couple of years back, which tells that how some of the leading organizations are using IoT platform. Like if you talk about, a lot of places people talk about IoT to use for their Industry 4.0 initiative, like a lot of people say that I want to go for a digital transformation or Industry 4.0, but yes, while this platform provides all those, what I will say, enablement, it is also one of the key components where some of the these leading companies are using these platforms to do the industrial scale analytics of your asset and use it with APM. So I think in a conclusive manner, what I will say, like IoT help you to move from a typical your normal maintenance to what I will say the monetize, because I'm not talking about the maintenance thing. What we leverage through using an asset management, where we talk about reducing the maintenance cost or visibility, but I'm talking about improving the efficiency and increasing the uptime, which is basically increasing your production. So basically increasing your monetization. Similarly, life cycle optimization, right? So it helps you when you are getting the data over a complete life cycle of a particular asset. It helps you take the right and informed decision. And another aspect, when we talk about you are implementing IoT along with your APM, it takes your what I will say digital maturity to a next level. If you are putting an IoT platform, you are almost level 3 or kind of a 4 in the maturity level, right? And big thing, like it set you apart from your competitors, right? So that's all. Any question or?
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
How your system differentiate the data getting from sensor is actual or false signal they are getting?
So that is what I mentioned, like when we talk about continuously monitoring the sensor data, right? Lot of the time we also build a stock sensor. Along with that is that is a critical data, right? So let's say if it is a false value, it would be very much different than the normal value, right? So immediately you will see the deviation in that particular value is very high. On the other hand, your soft sensor, which also take care of your other process parameters, right, it will be showing some value near to the actual one. So it helped me to tell that now there is some issue in your sensor value. It could be a sensor faulty or something else.
It maps the actual, it maps the value, real-time value with your standard.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, so we keep continuously, when we talk about leveraging IoT in asset performance management or as completely predictive maintenance, we try to do this kind of a thing, where we try to compare the real-time value that is coming from the sensor as well as with a soft sensor, which is critical. I'm not saying like all the sensors, but which are critical. Okay, thank you very much.